once again, you're welcome to our beginner section of our data analytics training for data. All right, so my name is Enefio. I'm the facilitator of this program. All right, you can call me Enefio the analyst. You are welcome. So today we'll be discussing on introduction to data analytics. We are going to discuss more on data, what data is, who is a data analyst, what is data analytics, and the tools data analysts use in running analysis, and why data analytics is very important. Okay, so today we are getting more theoretical than the practical aspect. So, but you need the knowledge for you to be able to carry out the practical. All right, so today we are going to understand how we data analysts turn data into insights. All right, so I'm excited for this section. So let's actually begin the class. Alright, so first and foremost, we want to know what is data analytics. Okay, so but before we go into data analytics, I want to actually explain what is data. Okay, so data is more like raw facts that are not meaningful. You need to actually process data before it becomes an information, something that is meaningful and also interpretable. All right, so data analysts actually use data to carry out analysis. So that's why they are called data analysts. Now, what is data analytics? Data analytics is the process of turning raw data into meaningful information that actually supports decision making. Moreover, data analytics has different processes involved in data collection, data cleaning. You have analyzing data to extract meaningful insights. So these are the various processes you need to follow as a data analyst. All right, so it involves a process of data collection, data cleaning, analyzing that data to extract meaningful insights. So that's what data analytics is. And who's a data analyst? A data analyst is professional or an expert whose job is to collect data, process data, and analyze data to support decision making. So before you call yourself a data analyst, you know that you are a problem solver. Okay, you are trying to solve a problem. How do you solve a problem? You define your problem, you get objectives. What objective are you using to solve that problem? Okay, you are trying to solve sales performance of a business. You need to first of all collect data. How do you source for your data? There are different methods you can get your data from. Some can get it from survey, online, like Google. Okay, so most people get it from databases. Then after getting data, you need to clean up data up and also analyze data by using tools like Excel, SQL. We have Power BI, Python, and the rest to analyze that data in order for you to extract meaningful insights. I hope you are following. All right, so that is all about what data analytics is. All right, now in data analytics, we have 4 types of data analytics. The first one is descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive, and also prescriptive analytics. Okay, so in descriptive analytics, this is the first stage as a data analyst. This is the first types of data analytics you'll be exposed to. So it's actually focused on summarizing past data to understand what the data is actually saying. So each of these type of data analytics answers a particular question. So each of them has a question they answers. For descriptive, it answers the question what happened. Do you understand? So when we say that descriptive is summarizing past data, we are now looking at, okay, what is the total revenue generated by this business over time? What is the total profit the business has accumulated over the time period? Maybe it can be 2 years, 1 year, depending on the data the type you are working with. Okay, you now look at, okay, what are the total customers that have actually patronized the business? You are now looking at different aspects of the business based on the data, the information you collected from the stakeholders. So what you are actually doing as an analyst is just the descriptive analytics. I hope you are following. Okay, then after descriptive analytics, you move to diagnostic analytics. In diagnostic analytics, you are now trying to examine data to actually get insight on what actually happened. So it answers the question, why did it happen? You are not just looking at the data or summarizing data, but diagnostic, you are trying to solve a problem. Okay, what problem are you trying to solve? Okay, what is the reason behind this outcome in the analysis? Okay, most times we analyze data and we observe that sometimes there are decline in sales for a particular year. There might be a particular time period where the sales increase very well, you have more revenue, more profit in that business. Okay, there might be something that drives that high sales of that business. There might be something that caused the decline of the sales. Okay, you are now trying to now solve that problem. Okay, why did this particular thing happen during this time period? You are now looking for a way to solve that. So that is more about diagnostic analytics. You are trying to answer the question, why did it happen? Okay, why did sales decline in the mid-year? Why is it that customers are not buying this particular product? So if you can answer such question as a data analyst, that means you are applying what? Diagnostic analytics. We also have predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is mainly used by data scientists because there's a big difference between a data analyst is and who a data scientist is. There's a big gap. All right. Most data scientists use predictive analytics. What is predictive analytics? It's all about using historical data that have been collected, data that have been collected over time. You build models on that data to forecast future outcome. You are trying to forecast, okay, this is the business data a stakeholder gave you to analyze. Okay, what is likely to happen in the next 3 months or in the next year? So what are the decisions the business should make in pertaining to what the coming year or the coming month? So as a data analyst, most data analysts actually avoid predictive analysis because it involves you using high sophisticated tools like in Python, R, all about programming tools, and you carry out what? You build models such as regressional model, we have correlation, time series model, non-parametric models. There are a lot of models in analysis, okay, that you need to learn how to build it step by step, and you use this model to forecast future outcome depending on the data that you are running analysis with. Then the last type of data analytics is called prescriptive analytics. This one actually answers the question, what should we do? Okay, as an analyst, you are a problem solver. You are trying to solve a problem for a company, for an organization. Okay, after analyzing your data, it is important that you provide recommendations on what action the stakeholder should take based on the data availability of that company. Okay, what action should they take as the stakeholder of the company? They paid you to analyze their sales data to check the performance of the business over time. Okay, what recommendation is appropriate for that business as a kind of a business decision tools that will enable that business to grow instead of running at loss? So that is when you now apply prescriptive analytics. Okay, so these four types of data analytics is very important. It's very important. But what differentiates a data scientist and a data analyst? That for data analysts, they actually use descriptive, diagnostic, and prescriptive analysis. They actually omit predictive analysis. But for you to become a data scientist, you need to learn how to apply all of the types of data analytics. Alright, I hope you actually understood that. Why data analysis matter? Yes, you might want to ask such question. Yes, data analysis matters a lot. Okay, so we are going to emphasize on three. There are different reasons why data analysis matter, but for this tutorial, we are going to emphasize on these three. One, helping businesses make data-driven decisions. Yes, it is important that as a data analyst, which you are, you need to provide good recommendation to your stakeholders so that they can use that recommendation to make what? Data-driven decision. That is one of the important aspects of data analysis. You don't just make a decision of a business by assumption. Okay, you don't even know how your business is performing, and you as a stakeholder is just making decision. Okay, we are going to increase stock of a particular product. You don't know if that product is actually performing well in the market. Okay, what are the potential customers? Who are the a potential customer that actually patronize you, which product do they buy most from. So you are looking at all these informations, because your data is going to communicate what is happening in that business for you. So yeah, as a data analyst, you need to know what is going on in the data and also communicate this finding to your stakeholders so that they can use it to make data-driven decisions. The next one is identifying trends and patterns. In analysis, when you are carrying out analysis, you observe some trends and patterns depending on how the business is going. Sometimes you might analyze sales trend over time. You might observe that at a certain month the sales decline, at some points the sales increase potentially. Okay, so these are trends and patterns you will observe. You might also observe that a particular product is actually boosting sales in a particular region. Let's say we are now looking at states in Nigeria. We observe that more products are selling in Lagos, Abuja, okay, and in minor states like, say, Calabar, Akwa Ibom, or any other northern states, their sales is dropping actually in comparison to what, to Lagos, all those massive and big commercial states. So these are called trends and patterns. Okay, so you need to always identify trends and patterns in your analysis as a data analyst, so that you can actually solve a problem and also improving efficiency and performance. Data analysis matters because it helps improve the efficiency of that business and also the performance. By you offering a communication to your stakeholders, it means that, okay, if the stakeholders use those recommendations as a decision tools in their business, it might actually experience growth in the business. That means that you have actually improved the efficiency and performance of that business. Alright, so we are actually elaborating on these three. Let's look at the role of a data analyst. What are the roles of a data analyst? A data analyst has 4 major roles. Please take note. A data analyst has what? 4 roles to play. 1 is data collection, 2 cleaning and organizing data, 3 analyzing data, and 4 presenting insights. These are the 4 roles. You as a data analyst, you need to know how to apply these roles for you to become a proficient data analyst. Okay, 1, data collection. That is the first step or the first role as an analyst. How do you get data? Where should you get data from? Okay, you want to analyze data, maybe customers' behavior. Okay, where can you get this data from? So a data analyst will actually gather data from various sources, such as databases, survey, APIs, and what? Spreadsheet. That is where you can get data. You can also get data online. Even your friends can be your source of information of collecting data. You can use survey to get data. You can get data anywhere. Data is everywhere. So there are different ways you can collect data. So data collection is the first role of a data analyst. Then 2 is cleaning and organizing data. When you get data from database, especially raw data, these data are often messy and they are containing consistent entries. Like you might see missing values, duplicates, and also incorrect data type. So as a data analyst, you need to first of all clean your data, because this raw data will affect your insights. Okay, so you need to learn how to use tools to clean data up. You check for, and you need to clean data by doing what? Removing duplicates. There might be repetition of cells. Maybe a particular customer is appearing twice, and the same information, the same data information is the same. So that means that it might affect your insight or your recommendation at the end of your analysis. So you need to first of all check for duplicates, check for missing values. Sometimes we have blank entries. So how do you handle blank entries? So that is also one of your roles, and you learn that in the course of this training. And also correcting errors. That is your second role as a data analyst. Your third role as a data analyst is to learn how to analyze data, because that is why you are called a data analyst. If you don't know how to analyze data, then you are not a data analyst. The data analyst, you are now using tools like Excel, SQL, or Python to run analysis by using statistical techniques. You need to have a small statistical knowledge. You don't need to understand statistics. Most of us are not coming from statistical background. You don't know mathematics, you don't know statistics. Yes, it is important though that you have the basic knowledge, okay, of how to use tools to run analysis and know what your data is saying. So that is your third role. Your last role, or the fourth role as a data analyst, is presenting insights. How do you present insights? We use dashboards, charts, and reports to present insights to actually help stakeholders understand the data and also make data-driven decisions. If you can't present insight, that means you are not a data analyst. Presenting insight is just like the last stage or the last role of a data analyst. After doing your analysis, you have cleaned your data, you collected the data, you don't know how to present insight, that means you are not a data analyst. So you need to learn how to create interactive dashboard, use the appropriate chart for your data, and make your reporting look formal. You should not be using different charts for the same data. So different data has its own chart. So you can, for instance, you want to analyze ages of maybe customer. I'm using sales in performance analysis for this class. So if you are analyzing sales performance and you want to use a chart for the age range of customer, we have, for instance, we have 20 to 25, 30 to 35, 40 to 45. What is the appropriate chart to use for this? Should you use bar chart, should you use line graph, or should you use column charts? So you need to know the appropriate chart and how to present your insights. These are your follows you need as a data analyst. Now there are three types of data. As a data analyst, you'll be exposed to three types of data. We have the structured data, semi-structured, and unstructured data. These are the data we use as data analysts. We have the structured data, semi-structured, and unstructured data. So structured data are more like data that are always organized in tables, rows, and columns. Such data are always Excel sheets or databases. Okay? Data that comes in rows and columns are called structured data. A typical example are data that comes in Excel sheet or databases. Then semi-structured data are data that do not follow strict tabular format, but they actually are organized at some level. Okay, example, JavaScript data or XML files. These are data that are intermediate between structured and unstructured data. Then unstructured data are data that do not have predefined formats. That means they come in different forms, such as text, images, videos, or social media content. So these are the three types of data to be exposed to. Alright, so let's move on. Data analysis process. What are the data analysis process? As a data analyst, we have different processes we follow. One is data collection. That is the first process as a data analyst. You need to learn how to collect data, like I emphasize. How do you get data? Where can you source for data? What is the data you want for your analysis? It's very important. Data collection is the first process. From data collection, we now move to data cleaning. Data cleaning is trying to use tools. You can use Excel, you can use any tools to clean the data, because raw data are often messy. They contain duplicates, inconsistency, blank entries, and a lot. You see a lot of errors. In this training, we are going to apply data cleaning, where you are going to see some of these errors in raw data and how to clean them up. So you need to first of all learn how to clean your data up before you run analysis. You don't just collect data from database, you now analyze. No, you need to check for all these little things. It matters. Alright, the next one is data analysis. You need to learn how to use tools to run analysis. If you are using Excel, though for this screen we are using a Microsoft Excel to carry out analysis. So you learn how to use Microsoft Excel to carry out your analysis. You know what is happening. You create your pivot table. You summarize your data. You know, okay, this business, this is what is going on. This is what is not going on. So that is all about data analysis. Then data visualization. You need to learn how to use charts and graph to visualize your data or your insights, because stakeholders do not understand what the data is saying. It's only you as a data analyst that understand, okay, this is what the data from my analysis, this is the insight I get from the data. They won't understand because they don't understand what analysis is. They only pay you as a data analyst, okay, come and analyze my business in data in sales for me. I want to know what is happening in my business. You understand? It might be, okay, I want to know who are my top 10 customers. What products are the customers likely buying from us, so that we know that this product must be in stock at all times. Okay, so these are the, you need to use visuals, you need to use charts to show them so that they can actually see. They say see is believing, because when you start speaking as statistical techniques to communicate, you won't actually understand. But if you use charts and show them, okay, this is what is happening, they will see it and actually understand. Okay, and the last process is reporting. You need to learn how to report your findings to your stakeholders. You can use interactive dashboard, you can use documents, you can use PowerPoint slide to carry out the reporting. Okay, and your reporting must be kind of key point, but not just, you don't have to write much, just key points and let them actually understand. So these are the processes involved in data analysis. Tools used by data analysts. What are the various tools we use as data analysts? The basic tools here is Microsoft Excel. We actually use Excel to clean data up, organize data, carry out some calculation on basic analysis. So that's why we normally train beginners with Microsoft Excel, because it's the easiest tool you can use to carry out this whole process. Then we also have SQL, which actually means SQL, that's structured query language. SQL is more like a database where you can actually extract data from. You can extract information. That means you need to write a query, a kind of a query to actually extract the information. In the query is just like trying to give permission to the database. Okay, I need this from you, I want to extract this information, I want to use this for the analysis. So it's more like a database where we store information. We store information in database, so that anytime you want to update any information about your business, you can update that. If you want to extract it, you can easily get this information. All right, so we also have Power BIs and Tableau. These are more like visualization tools. We use them to create interactive dashboard and also to make reports. So it's more like if you want to carry out visualization, you want to use charts, graphs. Without using, you can still use Excel, but the most appropriate tool for visualization is Power BI or Tableau. Okay, so most data analysts actually use it to present their insights, their charts in a visual appealing way. Right, then the last tool used by data analysts is Python. Python is an advanced remote programming language used to carry out advanced data analysis, automation, data visualization, and what have you. It actually helps in handling large data sets or complex data sets. If you comparing Python to Excel, Excel has its own limits. Excel cannot actually handle large data set or complex data set, but Python can do that. So that's why most data scientists, they use Python, because of the large volume of data set. It might be 10,000 rows, 20,000 rows, 50,000. Excel cannot process such large information. So we actually use Python. Data scientists actually use Python. But for beginners, you need to learn how to use Excel. Very important. Key skill of data analyst. What are the key skills of data analyst? One, analytical thinking. You do not just make assumptions with insights. You don't just, maybe you have analyzed, you just assume, okay, this is what is happening. This is what the business and the stakeholders should do. No, you need to, first of all, follow those processes, understand what the data is saying. You don't just make the guesswork. You don't just apply assumption here. You need to allow the data communicate with you. You understand? The data is what you are using to make a valid fact to your stakeholders. So you don't just jump into conclusion. Okay, this is what is happening. Okay, the stakeholders should do this, they should apply that. No, you need to make the data actually communicate what is happening in the business. You understand before you now what give out recommendation. So that is analytical thing. You need to be able to think critically. Don't just jump into conclusion. So that is the skill you need as a data analyst. You also need statistical knowledge. Yes, I know most of you you don't actually have statistical background. You don't know mathematics, or you're having difficulties with math statistics. Yes, but it is important. It is a requirement as a data analyst. You have basic knowledge on statistics. At least you know what is mean, median, mode, range. You also have quartiles, percentiles. You need to actually know this so that you can explain them to your stakeholders. What is average? You don't actually know what is average. It is a problem for you as a data analyst. At least you need to have basic statistical knowledge. Then data visualization, to learn how to use the appropriate charts for your analysis. You don't just misuse charts. You need to know, okay, this is what I'm doing. Okay, what is the most appropriate chart you can use for your analysis? Is it line chart? If you are analyzing sales trend over time, the most appropriate chart should be line chart. If you now go and use pie chart or bar chart, it will make your work look messy, and it will not communicate anything to you as a data. You won't even understand it because you are not actually using the right chart for the analysis. The communication skill, you need to learn as a data analyst to communicate your findings. Okay, what is the data saying? Your stakeholders, they do not understand what the data is saying. They only need you as a data analyst to analyze what the data is and give them feedback, give them recommendations so that they can make decisions in their business. So you are the only person that understands what the data language. Okay, so communication skill is very important. Data cleaning. All right, data cleaning is very important as a data analyst. Why? It enables us to remove errors, improve accuracy, and ensure reliable analysis. I told you that raw data are always messy and always dirty. Dirty in the sense that they contain missing values, duplicated correct entries. So you need to always remove errors so that your data can be clean before carrying accuracy. Okay, once your data is clean, it will improve the accuracy of your analysis. That's why you need to clean your data. And once your data is clean, and it will also improve the quality of your data set. Okay, and it will also ensure reliable analysis. Now, if you imagine you use a dirty data set, just the raw data you just extracted or collected from anywhere, and use it to run analysis, it means that your findings will be misleading or incorrect. But once your data is accurate and you clean them up, find out that your insights will be more trustworthy. So that's why you need to know how to clean your data. Then data visualization, and we have discussed this. Data visualization is more like using chart graph to explain or to actually get your findings. You make your stakeholders understand what the data is saying. You create an interactive dashboard and so on. So it's more like using charts, data visualization, using charts, graph, and also what you create interactive dashboard where your data will be speaking. As your data is speaking, the charts are also speaking. You actually understand what is going on. All right, use case example. What kind of analysis can you carry out as a data analyst? You can carry out business performance analysis, customers behavior analysis, market research, even students performance analysis. There are a lot of analysis you can carry out. So you can actually analyze the business performance of a company or an organization. You understand, okay, what is happening? What is the revenue generated by the business? Is there any growth in the market region? What products are customers actually buying? So these are insight you can actually get. Then customer behavior analysis. Okay, who are your potential customer? What product will the customer buy from? Who are your top 10 customers? Because you need to get a summary of your customers. Okay, these are my top 10 customers, people that actually patronize me. So that means that I need to make sure I maintain this customer so that my business will keep growing. So these are customer behavior analysis. You can also analyze market research. Market research is more like ads. Some people pay for Google ads, Facebook ads, and Instagram or what have you. We are now trying to see, okay, there are some ads people pay, they just want audience, people that are doing tutorials online, or people that need more customers to patronize their business, to know that okay, this business actually exists. As a data analyst, you can also do market research. You understand, okay, has this ads been effective? You understand? So these are using case example, actually carry on. Now, what is the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist? Now, there's a big difference. Please take note. A data analyst is a professional that does what? That actually use historical data to get findings or identify trends, pattern, and get insights. They clean up data and use tools like Excel, Power BI to carry out visualization, and also to offer recommendations that support business decision making. But a data scientist is more like a professional or an expert who goes beyond, or who goes a step further by doing what? By building models, predictive models. Remember, I said that there are 4 types of data analytics, and data scientists actually uses what? Predictive analysis. So that the one that actually use tools like Python, R, to do what? To build models that can be used to forecast what is likely to happen in future. So that is who a data scientist is. So a data analyst just focus on descriptive analytics, diagnostic, and also prescriptive. Just focus on summarizing data. They check what is happening in the data, that trends and pattern we have been saying. You understand, okay, why is there a decline in sales? At the end of the day, they will do what? Offer recommendation. But data scientists apply all the 4 types of data analytics. Now, looking at career opportunity, there are different career opportunities for you as a data analyst. You can become a business analyst, analyzing business trends, marketing analyst, analyzing effectiveness of ads, financial analyst, analyzing what? Transaction of business. You can also be a product analyst in using trying to analyze what how the product is doing in the market, who are the potential customers actually buying their particular product. Okay, how effective is that product to the customers? Okay, these are different career opportunities. So it depends on your niche. Some people have a BSc in accounting and are also into data analytics. That means that they can be called financial analysts because they're analyzing what in business accounts, transaction. They're trying to see, okay, what is happening in this account. So there is financial analysts. The people that analyze ads. Okay, what is happening? Okay, after we paid for these ads, what is the returns? So these are different career opportunities for you. So it depends on what you want to focus on. We also have health analysts, people that analyze health performance, patients with diabetes, cancer. So you can choose any career for yourself depending on what is your goal. So challenges in data analysis, we have 3 major challenges. That is data quality. I told you that the raw data you get from databases are always full of duplicates, correct entries. So that makes the data quality to reduce. Understand? So it makes the data not the quality enough for analysis, which is a problem, and that will be a challenge for you as a data analyst. And also large data sets can be a problem. Why? Because you only know how to use Excel to run analysis, and Excel, but you can't use Excel for complex data sets, which is a challenge, and you need to learn advanced tool like Python out. So that is the challenge in data analysis. And we also have data privacy concern, like we were saying in discussing on health analysis. Okay, people that are health analysts that analyze patients, diseases, and also diagnosis of disease by patient. We are trying to check the patient with hypertension, cancers rates, and all those things. So you see that most hospitals actually protect this information. You might walk into an hospital and request for such data or information. They will not give you as a data analyst. So it makes it a problem, a challenge as a data analyst. So these are the few challenges. All right. So to conclude this class, I just want to urge you that the data analyst, know that you are very important in the society, and you play a very vital role in making decisions by transforming what data into meaningful insight. So as a data analyst, which you are and you likely become at the end of this training, it means that you are important in the society. The society are looking for you, and you are helping the society by transforming data, raw facts that are not meaningful to meaningful insights that helps grow the business. All right, so that is all I have to say, just for you to understand what we have discussed so far in this class. We have touched different angles on data analytics on this introduction. All right, so this is very important that we follow up. I know that as a data analyst, you need to know the processes involved: data collection, data cleaning, transformation to data analysis, getting insight, and reporting. This is the aspect that makes you a data analyst. All right, so thank you so much for your attention. We have assignments, week one assignments for us in this training. All right, so our week one assignment is just for you to answer this based on what we have discussed in this class. You have to list and explain any three roles of a data analyst. So I believe we have touched exhaustively on 4 roles of data analyst, but I want you to list and explain with your own terms of 3 roles of a data analyst. 2, I want you to mention one area, either in business, healthcare, or education, where data analytics is used, and explain how it helps in decision making. Alright, so these are the 2 assignments you have to submit before Sunday, 10th May 2026. Alright, so how do you submit this? You create a Word document, you answer this inside a Word document, and how will you save it before submitting? We are actually saving it by week. Okay, so this is week 1. We name it week 1. You put an iPhone and attach your unique ID, that's your unique number. I believe most of you have gotten your unique number, so you are submitting based on unique number so that we can actually track your commitment and how well you are following the class.